Hello and welcome to another episode of Maths Tutorials brought to you by Perfect Maths South Africa and Multifields Tutorials. My name is Pat Mhluli. In this episode, we are going to be dealing with the topic of trigonometry. We are going to be starting with the details and definitions that need to be had before we go into the calculations and applications. We will be dealing with trigonometric ratios as well as the trigonometric identities. Now, as mathematics experts and educators, we have been dealing with a lot of research and tests, and we have realized that most students are struggling with problem solvings in trigonometry, not because of the topic of trigonometry, but it's based on some topics that have been left behind in previous grades or perhaps not mastered or understood in previous grades. Therefore, it has created a gap in the student's mind that prevents them from solving trigonometric questions effectively, even though they do understand the concepts behind trigonometry. Therefore, we strongly recommend that you review the following topics before we start with trigonometry. These are the topics that we strongly recommend that you review. The first topic is the topic of fractions, how to add fractions, subtract them, divide them, and multiply them. It is very essential. We are going to use them to deduce the trigonometric ratios. You are also going to be required to use them to prove some identities, and they are going to be very important in trigonometry all around. The second one is the theorem of Pythagoras, which deals with the right-angled triangles and how when you square the shorter sides and sum them up, they are going to be giving you the square of the hypotenuse, which is the longest side, when all of them are real numbers, of course. The third one is the coordinate system. That is the X and Y system. And also we are going to use some angles in that. So you need to really be well versed in the Cartesian plane, and also how we reflect points along the y-axis, the x-axis, the y equals to x line, and the y equals to negative x line. They are going to be very important, especially how the coordinates change. And then the last one we recommend that you review is the theory of intervals, how we represent intervals and what the meanings of these things are. For example, this is an interval from A to B where A is not included and B is not included. Those things, please go back and review them. Once you have reviewed them, we are going into the topic of trigonometry. Mathematics is a language. Just like any other language, it is important to understand the symbols and the notations that are used in a language in order to be able to interpret sentences and reasoning. Now, we are going to start with some few notations that are very important in trigonometry. The first one is that of sine and cosine. They are both what we call trigonometric functions. They are going to be our key functions. We are going to use these two functions to define everything else in trigonometry. Now, we are going to usually see them in this format here, sine, cosine. So don't be surprised why I write this and pronounce it sine, and why I write this and pronounce it cosine. Now, these two here are actually what we call functions. They describe the relation between the angles and the sides of right-angled triangles. So they are a relation defining how sides are related to the angles of a right-angled triangle. Here are some more important notations. Angles will be represented mostly with Greek symbols alpha, theta, and beta. And sometimes we will use capital letters A, B, C, and so forth to represent angles. And sides and lengths will be represented by lowercase letters A, B, C, X, Y, and Z, or Z. And then we are going to use two letters side by side to represent line segments, that is the line joining A to B, for example. Now, these are the notations and conventions that we use in trigonometry